All right, Kenny, and I know he says, John, that he's built for this and he's ready, but I got to imagine there's some crazy butterflies going on, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you dream of this when you're a kid, but I don't know if you dream of making 5 different stops to get to this point in 1 year. And he's a very unorthodox top of the height of 7.1 feet to deliver a baseball. So hitters don't see that very often. Straight over the top, fastball, split, slider, and so far so good of this youngster pitching at home in game 2.
Go get him, youngster, against the top offense in baseball this year. Still trying to get going in the postseason, though. It's the same lineup as yesterday with Grisham, Judge, and Bellinger, Rice, Stanton, and Chisholm. Ryan McMahon's at third, Volpe's at short, and Austin Wells does the catching. Yeah, Trey Yesavage, drafted just 1 year ago and started this season in A-ball. He said, I think I've met everybody in the organization already this year, climbing each rung of the ladder. And here to the big leagues less than a month ago. His 4th start comes in the playoff.
First couple fastballs are going to tell you all you need to know about his calmness or the anxiety, and this disciplined lineup for the Yankees.
It is strike 1 on Trey Grisham.
So the top of the zone, you see the fastball comes out way up high, right? Hitters are not used to seeing it. Top of the zone, if it's called, trouble for the Yankees.
He's 6'4", extreme over the top arm angle, highest release point in the majors, and that makes it an odd look for hitters.
It does. And what you see in his watching some film, he couples that with a great and even better split finger than some people think than Gausman.
The Yankees yesterday 0 for 8 against Gausman's splitter. There it is right there. That falls out of the sky.
Yeah, it floats. Again, north and south. That's where he's going to be pitching. Top of the zone, bottom of the zone. And that pitch right there is what's given the left-handed hitters for the Yankees all kinds of fits.
And because of that pitch, lefty's hitting just 160 against Yesavage, who's home with a 1-2. And he begins with a strikeout on that splitter.
Well, heartbeat, check. Pitches, check so far. But it's the right-handers that he's going to have to figure out how to get out. He's had less success against right-handers in his short big league stint than he has against left-handers. The good news for him, majority of the hitters are left-handed for the Yankees.
Bad news for him is the first right-hander he faces is one of the greatest hitters of all time, and Aaron Judge, who takes a slider outside. Aaron had 2 hits yesterday, but in the biggest spot, struck out with the bases loaded. It's kind of a microcosm of how the postseasons have gone for Judge, chasing a pitch that during the regular season you'd rarely see him budge at. And while he's hitting .400 so far in the postseason, he has just 1 extra base hit, and he's driven in just 1 run. Nope. 3-0.
Oh, that's a great slider right there. He needs that pitch against the right-handers, and not getting the call. A good patient approach so far for Aaron Judge.
It is a 4-pitch walk, and Judge is the first base runner for the Yankees. Savage's parents making the trip up from Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Cheryl and Dave. Trey grew up on the family farm back in Boyertown. Well, he was more of a football player and an outdoorsman than he was a baseball player until he got to high school and started to focus on pitching. The Yankees have a base runner, and they have Cody Bellinger at the plate. Bellinger drove in their lone run with a bases loaded walk yesterday.
So you're already seeing the East-West is very tight called so far. Getting the call up still benefits him more. If he can get the top of the strike zone as a, let's say, an inch above it, he'll benefit. But this is the one issue. The one issue with that release point from time to time, he will have command issues. When the ball comes out of his hand, it comes out up. It looks great to a hitter, but the hitter cannot see that late hop. They swing underneath it, and then you couple that with the split finger. That's why he's had success.
He's missed with his last 6 pitches after striking out Grisham. He finds his own right here. John Schneider was telling us before the game that, yeah, he watched video of the kid as he charged through the minors this year and thought, man, that does look unique. But he said you have to see it in person to really appreciate how different it is. The Yankees seeing him for the first time. Different guys have different ways of getting ready, whether it's watching video of him or trying to find comps of guys, but it's hard to find anybody to compare to this.
Yeah, that last pitch right there would be nightmare for the Yankees if he keeps throwing it there.
2-2. Check swing foul.
You just have to, the reason, you know, if you're sitting at home, you're like, man, I don't understand why do people keep swinging at a pitch that's way out of the zone. You have to respect 97, 98. And when it leaves his hand, it looks like it's going to be a fastball, and then it drops about 1.5 feet, and there's no time to really recognize that.
On another 2-2, a swing and a miss, and that splitter nosedives to get Bellinger.
It's straight over the top and straight down, and you can see there are going to be some funky swings. You can't sit on it. You just hope it's a mistake. You tell yourself to see it up, and if you see it up, it's going to stay in the strike zone. If you see it at the knees, it's impossible to be in the strike zone.
Ben Rice, this is an interesting one right here, John, because he looked like he had no chance against Gausman's splitter, but Aaron Boone told us he likes this matchup if he gets a high fastball.
Yeah, he's got to get that fastball. I don't know how many he'll get today.
Here's an 0-1. It is a fastball that's a little bit low, according to Adam Hamari, the home plate umpire. So postseason debut here for Yesavage. Coming off 5 scoreless innings, though, with the division on the line the last weekend. Splitter gets a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. He's got a chance to get 3 Ks in the first.
You can't get in between as a hitter, and what that means is when you're in between, you look lost, right? You're trying to get ready for the fastball. You don't ever want to miss the fastball as a hitter, but then you get that pitch and it makes you look like you're swinging underwater.
3 strikeouts in the first inning for the kid. Giancarlo Stanton leads off the second, and a fastball right down the chute.
Well, the right-handers in this lineup are going to have to find a way to cause havoc, because right now the rhythm of the left-handers has been neutralized by the split finger.
There's a slider.
Yeah, slider has a downward action. It actually looks sometimes like his split, but he's going to throw that primarily to just right-handed hitters.
0-2 to Stanton is in the dirt. Struck out 9 in his debut against Tampa Bay a few weeks ago. It was a Toronto Blue Jays record. A bit of a bumpy second start against Kansas City, but then with the division kind of hanging in the balance last weekend, his best start, his first win. Fastball's high, and it's 2-2.
See, here's the problem. If you're sitting at home and people are going, why do they keep swinging at it? Why don't they just make him throw that pitch for a strike? Well, left-handed hitters don't want to get beat with fastballs, so you never really think you know for sure if he's going to throw a bunch of those. But yes, conventional wisdom says he's not going to throw that pitch for a strike. So if you took some and you controlled the count, easier said than done when a guy throws 97 miles an hour.
The Yankees have not swung at a fastball yet. They've only made contact once on 7 swings. You know, the Yankees, even in years where they've not had Giancarlo Stanton at his best during the regular season, the one thing they've been able to count on is that he will show up in October, but still waiting on that version of Stanton this year. 1 for 15. On a payoff pitch. Chases, strike 3. Slider gets him. 4 outs, 4 Ks.
Well, when you look in the first inning, right, and you see this pitch, it's the same pitch, the same drop, and the same swings by the Yankees. And that's just because the pitch drops so much. And when you see StatCast powered by Google Cloud, you can see these 3 splitters and how they come out. And they just are devastating. That was the slider that got the strikeout for 4 in a row.
Chisholm with a half-hearted swing and a pop into shallow left center field. Jimenez caught off by Schneider, and a quick out right there.
There's the numbers, 0 for 13, and it hasn't even been close. So you had a couple double whammies. You have never seen this guy. Video doesn't do you any justice. You got to see it in the box, and when you're in the box, you're like, oh shoot,
maybe I don't want to see it.
Maybe I don't. And at some point, somebody's got to command and take a chance to see he's not going to throw 3 straight fastballs. Right? You got to take a chance and take some of those pitches in a count where you are afforded the opportunity to do that, meaning take the splitter.
Ball on Ryan McMahon. Hey! On the splitter. We were asking Aaron Boone about the approach facing Yesavage, and he said, I tell you this, I know I wouldn't have liked facing him. Said he hated facing guys that had tilt, meaning coming downhill at you. That splitter just butterflies away. 1-2. McMahon into right field for Miles Straw. Ernie Clement's home run has the Blue Jays on the board first, and Anthony Volpe to open the top of the third for the Yankees takes a ball from Trey Yesavage. Volpe continues to be a bright spot in this postseason for the Yankees. Doubled, scored their lone run yesterday. He's had a hit in all 4 games in this postseason. You go back to the beginning of last postseason, he's reached base 17 of his last 18 games.
Yeah, they need him to step up and get some. The Yankees just, I know it's only 11 innings, but they got to get some leadoff hitters on to create something, because they had virtually nothing until the 6th. He got that double and they scored their lone run, but very, very quiet top of every inning.
5.5 runs per game during the regular season, 10 runs total over 4 games in this postseason, and they've only hit 2 home runs, none of them from the big guys over the 4.
What I love about this, I used to hate it as a player, and I can say it now as an announcer, the narratives change so quick. I mean, they're just, you have to put away the noise and just know that you're a swing away, an inning away from changing the narrative.
Trey Yesavage only boosting his 5 strikeouts out of the first 7 outs of the ball game.
This is right down the middle, so it tells you what his fastball's like. He has tremendous backspin on his 4-seam fastball, and that extra hop and the height that he delivers from, hitters will tell you they're not used to seeing that.
Austin Wells, the 9-hitter, takes a splitter for a strike. Base hit for Wells yesterday. Bottom of the order really set the table for the top. They just couldn't clean it. And for Wells, continuation of a strong finish to the regular season. The Yankee catcher takes strike 2. Strikeout number 6.
And straight over the top, split finger diving out of the zone, not anywhere close. And he gets to strut around the mound like, yeah.
Cheryl's becoming a big Megan Thee Stallion fan. They're playing Savage after each of his strikeouts. A ball on Trent Grisham. Okay, so the Yankees get their first look at him. Doesn't go well. Now coming up, having gathered a little bit of information. Grisham struck out in a splitter his first time. Swings over a slider here. That's a rare righty-lefty slider.
Yeah. Again, it has that downward action that will go into a lefty, and the splitter goes away.
Grisham takes time. on. Now he's ready.
If I told you going into this inning he only threw 8 of 31 pitches in the zone, you'd say, oh man, maybe he's walked some guys and they got traffic. No, the problem is they were swinging and missing a lot out of the zone, and that just talks to you about how good his pitches are, that they look like strikes.
Well, only 3 starts, but if he had enough innings to qualify, it would be the highest chase rate in the major leagues. Combination of everything you're talking about, the reception from the arm angle, the stuff is really good, and just the unfamiliarity with the whole unique package. Already 6 Ks through 2 2/3. Breaking 7. He strikes out the side in the 3rd.
And now a huge cushion.
Aaron Judge, the lone guy to reach against him with a 4-pitch walk his first time, takes a strike. How's this shift your mentality when you're up 5-0?
Well, it just gets you more aggressive, and you feel obviously great, and you just want to keep rolling, man. When you've got your pitches working like this, you just don't want to mess around. Meaning there's no reason to just attack. If they get some hits, they get some hits, but it's a luxury in your first postseason start to have cushion.
The offense has given him this room for error.
Outside.
2-1 on Judge.
What you have to do is tell yourself, even though facing Judge, you just don't want to give any more. You don't want to give a free pass, right? You challenge him now when you're down 5 or when you're up 5.
Backup slider.
Yeah, that's the one upgrade pitch. I'm telling you, if he progresses with that pitch, he won't have the differences between right-handed batter splits and left-handed batter splits, because he can take care of the left-hander with 2 pitches.
Three and 2. Bellinger and Rice to follow in this Yankees 4th. Payoff from Yesavage. Judge swings and misses. Run upstairs to get him with a fastball.
That's what I was talking about earlier. See, that ball looks like it's hittable to a hitter right about there, and then it's like, oh no, because you can't get the barrel of the bat on a level plane on a fastball that high and that velocity.
Most extreme over-the-top arm angle in baseball.
Outside.
Outside on Cody Bellinger. Red Sox got a unique first look at a guy in Cam Schlittler the other day and struggled with it. Yankees getting their first look at Trey Yesavage and meeting the same fate.
I mean, I talked about yesterday and what an incredible performance Kevin Gausman and his execution of location against a team he faced 5 times. That is a hard thing to do. You are punching the Yankees' great offense into a place where it feels like you have no chance. Something's got to change, or you are just going to have this dominant performance before your eyes, and you're going to be down 2.
Inside.
So how do you change it?
Well, you change it by turning around one of his fastballs. I mean, he's going to give you plenty of fastballs to hit with a 5-run lead, and it's the ones you choose to swing at can't be above the letters.
Zap the letters, popped up in foul ground. It'll reach the seats. 3 and 2. Our ALDS coverage will continue next with Game 2 between the Tigers and the Mariners. The Tigers did it again last night, doing just enough to win an 11, and then National League, after taking today off, resumes tomorrow. Dodgers, Phillies, Cubs, and Brewers on TBS.
Because right now he's got his chest out saying you can't hit my fastball.
Yeah.
And until somebody does that, it won't change the narrative that he has this feeling that you can't touch it.
He strikes out another former MVP. Unreal.
I mean, Blue Jays have more hits than they have swings and misses. That is obviously not the case on the other side. That's 9 strikeouts, and that already ties a record.
Ben Rice takes downstairs, and so in his 4 starts in the major leagues, he's set 2 Blue Jays records: most strikeouts in a debut, most strikeouts in a postseason game. This guy was striking out about 15 hitters per 9 innings in the minors, and impressive. But yeah, okay, it was A ball, and then it was high A, and then it was double A. There is no league above this one, and there is no offense better than the one that he's doing it to today. Is 1-1 to Rice. Fastball sizzles in there, strike 2. He's looking for a 6th consecutive K and a 10th in 4 innings. Almost hit him.
I would think a splitter's coming right here.
Bryce has had no chance against that pitch. There it is! Complete, utter dominance. Grand slam from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. One of the 2 home runs in the inning. The other one came from Dalton Varsho. It's 11-zip, both in runs and hits. Trey Yesavage, 10 Ks over 4 no-hit innings.
And a long wait, over 20 minutes. And it'll take a second or 2 to register to click back in. That's a long time to wait in between innings.
Stanton, Chisholm, and McMahon coming up for the Yankees. Just trying to scratch out a hit here. First things first. Down to third. There's Clement. Wide throw. Guerrero gets it and tags him. But the Yankees have played 442 games in the postseason in their glorious history. This is the most runs they've ever given up in a 2-game span.
Yeah, it just shocks your system. I mean, you come in here winning those 2 games after losing the first game. You feel good about your team. You know you're going to face the team you battled against all year, and they had their number. But you never think ever that you're going to come in here and give up that many runs with 4.5 innings more to go.
Off Guerrero and into right field. Chisholm aboard. We'll see how this is ruled. And what do you think? You got hit or error?
I mean, they're going to give it an error if they're smart.
When a guy's not giving up a hit, that is close enough to give it an error, and they did.
Yeah, they can change it later, just like they'll change the double into a triple.
Yeah, you keep speaking that into existence. Oh, strikeout McMahon. What is it? 67 pitches here in the 5th inning is Yesavage. He's 22 years old.
And you can already see a big difference, right? That 20 minutes, it's just taken him probably about 6 inches off his fastball. Already more contact in this inning than we've seen probably in the whole game.
2.
And high fastball, swing and a miss, and he'll feel like he's got that chest back out where he's saying, here's my fastball, go ahead and hit it.
Nope. Good take on a splitter.
Up and he's got no chance. Down, McMahon can get to it. This should be one of the easier pitches as he goes into his career, being able to throw at the top of the zone because of his release point and how he gets downhill after throwing that ball.
Pop fly, left side of the diamond. Clement into foul ground, has plenty of room. He's got it. 2 out. Make your voice heard. You can vote now to select the 2025 All-MLB team presented by MGM Rewards. Your chance to be part of history and honor this season's top performers. Terms and conditions apply. Go to MLB.com/AllMLB for details. 2 outs, and here's Volpe. Seen that slider do that a couple times. Not what he wants it, but getting a swing and miss.
One hit off of a splitter in this series. 0 for 19.
Just inside. Statistically is the hardest pitch in baseball to hit. And you're seeing more and more people throw it. Part of that's been the influx of pitchers from Japan, a lot of whom have that pitch. But a copycat league. Other guys picking it up too. 11 runs for the Jays and 11 Ks for Trey Yesavage. Trey Yesavage gets a swing and a miss from Austin Wells to open this 6th inning. He's got a no-hitter intact with 11 strikeouts, although he's at 77 pitches, the most that he's thrown in the majors, 96. Wells into shallow center field, maybe. Either way, it's going to be an easy one for Jimenez. Big Noon Saturday is coming up. Got Ohio State and Illinois. And we got John Schneider getting greeted by boos coming out to the field right here to take Trey Yesavage out. The city and the country going to share their love right here. What a performance in his 4th major league start. Rosenthal is up in the crowd with some special and very happy guests.
Absolutely, Joe. We're here with Dave Yesavage and Cheryl Yesavage, the parents of the man who just made some postseason history. Dave, what was your reaction watching that?
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, hey, he went to work. He did his job. He did his job. He knows what his job is, and he is not in a better fan base than right here in Toronto with all of these fans, all of his family right here. Right?
Cheryl, now as a mom, where did you teach him, or how did you teach him that kind of composure? Where did that come from?
He was born with that. I remember when he was 15 years old, he had that composure, and I think ECU taught him a lot too. And he does have ice in his veins, doesn't he? Oh my gosh.
Now, Dave, when was the last time you saw him before this start? Did you see him last night?
We saw him this morning.
This morning. Okay, yeah, what was he like?
He was good. He was, you know, Trey's always been that real even keel, calm demeanor. And we were in his hotel room with him for a bit, and he had some sports on and was watching himself talk. And I asked him, I said, do you like to watch yourself, like on camera? He said, no. I said, well, then turn it off, you know? Turn it off, put on some football. He said, I can't get football here. But he was looking for the London game, you know?
Cheryl, did you ever imagine this day could be like this?
No. I was hoping that he would do well, but I never expected this. And especially against the Yankees. Being that we're from outside of Philadelphia and we've been Philly fans and Yankees have not been our top team, this is amazing. This is amazing. He did a great job.
Cheryl, thank you very much. Dave, how do you think you guys will celebrate tonight?
Well, actually, we're driving back to Pennsylvania. This guy's got college class tomorrow morning, so we're going to be driving back tomorrow, or driving back tonight. But yeah, we'll find ways to celebrate. We're going to see Trey for a little bit before we leave the stadium, and then we'll go from there.
All right, Dave, Cheryl, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Coach A.
Joe, back to you.